It was a show that went out 3 nights a week, live.
Wogan, you're on.
With a live audience. And everyone who is anyone dropping in. The great and the good, the bad and the ugly. They called it Wogan. I never knew why. So, if you're sitting comfortably, I'll show you something I made earlier. God knows what they'll make of us in 25 years' time. Gosh, it's you again. Welcome to a show bursting with best bits from the Wogan back catalogue. It's an eclectic mix we have for you today, but I think your interest will be piqued because the lineup includes Margaret Thatcher, Naomi Campbell, Vanessa May, and Paul Gascoigne. Why don't we make a start with a rare interview with royalty? I rarely get the chance. And when Princess Anne came onto the Wogan show in 1985, it gave the public an opportunity to see her outside official engagements and a chance to find out what Her Royal Highness was really like. And the consensus afterwards was most people really liked her. I certainly did. Are you conscious of the fact that what is called in this business your image has improved over the past few years?
You're telling me? Yes, I tend to wonder. I like to ask people what they were expecting, see, before they met me. And then I find out what my image was, you see.
What did they say when you asked them that?
I'm just about to ask you that.
Well, you see, the problem is, ma'am, that if I tell you that, you will blush in all modesty. You know?
Right, forget it.
My goodness, I just scraped out of that one. All public figures are security risks. To what extent is your private life hampered by security?
Nowadays, not really. Because living in Gloucestershire and on a farm is really quite off the beaten track and out of the public view, it's really not too difficult that you're at home and they're not very much in evidence. In public, on your official engagements, of course, it's an occupational hazard. And I think while you're busy, while you're actually going about talking to people, you don't really notice. That's not to say that other people, of course, don't notice, because it tends to be rather more obvious from the outside than it is from where you are.
Do you and Captain Phillips ever get a chance to go out on your own, say, for a quiet meal?
Yes, again, because in the area, and being a sort of reasonably quiet rural area, that's not really very difficult. We've actually got 1 or 2 decent restaurants, too. I'm not going to tell you what they're.
No, of course not. I and the family would be down there next Sunday.
Well, you must know the area, because in Cheltenham,
well, I have to tell you.
Cheltenham occasionally, don't you?
Yes, I do, to support the Irish, and we needed a bit of support this year as well,
yes.
didn't we?
Yeah.
Did you have any bets yourself?
No, I gave that up a long time ago. When I was about 12.
Lost all your pocket money.
Yes. To my nanny.
Yeah. What would you say was do you enjoy going to formal functions? I mean, you have to keep that smile on all the time and be nice to everybody.
Well, you're nice to most of your guests, aren't you, really? You manage to smile at them and sort of keep up a reasonably intelligent...
But only for about 40 minutes.
Well,
You've got to do it for hours on end.
I don't have to speak to the same person for 40 minutes. I mean, everybody's different. I mean, you seldom meet the same person twice.
But the thing that always strikes me as a formidable task is the endless reviewing lines that you have to go to, say, at a royal premiere or a BAFTA award. How can you think of something new to say to each one that you come up to? Apart from, I love the movie and...
Well, except for they usually introduce you before you've seen the movie, which is always a bit of a hazard.
I loved your last movie.
It's like when you're opening something you haven't even seen, which happens quite a lot.
What do you do under those circumstances when you open something you haven't seen?
I'm very short about it. I don't say a lot. And so I'm very much looking forward to seeing whatever it is that I'm about to open. Or words to that effect. But I frequently thank them for the opportunity of having seen it before I open it, if I'm allowed to do so. It slightly depends. I mean, you can play it two ways. You can ask everybody. It's rather like a sort of market research. You can ask everybody, literally everybody, the same questions. Like you have 3 questions for that afternoon, and you ask everybody the same questions. And with any luck, it shortens the time involved, because if the person standing next to the one you're talking to is paying any attention, he'll have the answers ready for you.
What would you do if royalty was abolished? What particular...
I'd have to work even harder on the farm.
Is there anything you would really like to do? Any career you would like to have pursued if you hadn't been the royal princess?
I think it's rather difficult to tell now what career I would really like to have pursued.
Didn't you qualify as a heavy goods vehicle driver? Would you like to...
Yes, out of necessity I qualified as a heavy goods vehicle driver.
Oh, I thought it might have been some urge to drive a great Pantechnicon down a motorway one day and roll over hedgehogs.
This is, yes, another one of those bits of media mythology, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was actually asked if there was anything I could do if, as you mentioned, the royal family was abolished. And just like that, I mean, on the basis that one didn't have a farm to work on or there was no other alternative, both my husband and I have heavy goods vehicle licenses. He has an HGV1, I have an HGV3. So, in fact, it seemed like a very logical way of earning one's living. And you could do it. There is quite a demand for good horsebox drivers. We know one end of a horse from another, you see, and we thought we could probably crack that one between us.
So that would be the career. You think you could bend your hand to that?
Yes, but you said, what would I choose as a career? That wasn't the same thing at all.
No, that's true. It's a sneaky...
And if I get any more offers for, if you really want to come and drive a lorry, come up to the co-op at wherever it is, or I've got a spare lorry going you can try. I already do drive. Quite often.
Your Royal Highness, thank you for joining us. A musical moment now that was not just a treat, but an honour for me. How many can say that they've sat next to the great Peggy Lee as she sang one of her greatest songs, Fever.
Never know how much I love you. You never know how much I care. When you put your arms around me, I get a fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning, fever all through the night. They said when I met Terry Wogan, you simply have to touch his knee. I don't know what they meant by that, but I think I'll have to try it and see. You give me fever when you kiss, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning, fever all through the night. Everybody's got the fever, that is something you all know. Fever isn't such a new thing, fever started long ago. Romeo loved Juliet, Juliet she felt the same. When he put his arms around her, He said, Julie, baby, you're my flame, thou giveth fever with your kisses, fever with thy flaming youth. Fever, I'm a fire, fever, yea, I burn, forsooth. Forsooth, I doth burn. Captain Smith, Pocahontas, had a very mad affair. When her daddy tried to kill him, she said, Daddy, oh, don't you dare, he gives me fever with his kisses, a fever when he holds me tight. Fever, I'm his missus, Daddy, won't you treat him right? Now you've listened to my story, here's the point that I have made. Chicks were born to give you fever, be it Fahrenheit or centigrade, they give you fever. When you kiss them, fever when you touch their knee. Fever, I'm a fire, you see. And what a lovely way to burn, what a lovely way to burn, what a lovely way to burn.
Now, getting up close and finding out what makes a person tick is one of the great privileges of being a talk show host. Here's one example where I hope we learned a bit more about the person than we would have done in, say, a hard-hitting political interview. And I say political because this next guest is the then Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher.
You don't often get an audience as rowdy as that, I suppose, Prime Minister.
Very often in Prime Minister's questions.
Yes, they're much rowdier than that in Prime Minister's questions, and probably not as well disposed.
Quite.
I was going to ask you about that performance in the House of Commons, or when you're meeting heads of state. I mean, are you ever apprehensive? Are you ever nervous before you get up and speak?
Always. And you wouldn't speak well if you weren't. I've been answering questions in the House every Tuesday and Thursday for 10 years when the House is in session. I'm still just as nervous as I was at the beginning. It requires immense preparation. It usually takes me about 4 hours to prepare because I have no idea what the questions are, and I know everyone will like to ask a topical one, so I have to go through the papers very carefully. But the moment you've started, you forget about yourself completely. You think only about the answers, and then it's all right.
Do you ever look at yourself on television? Do you ever analyse your performances?
No, I have only ever done so once. I can't bear seeing myself. I think one would be most critical, far more critical than anyone else. But when we were going to have television in the House, the cameras were in a completely different position from what you'd expect normally. So I did go and stand by the dispatch box, and the cameras very kindly took a film of how it would look. And that really was very useful. But that was not live, it was a kind of private performance. Otherwise, the whole family knows that if I'm in the news, I go immediately and turn off the news. They turn it on, so I have to go out until it's over.
You get embarrassed by yourself?
I would be very, very dissatisfied. You never know what you yourself look like. You can't. You never know what you yourself sound like. And I don't think you'd be necessary. You would think you look different and sounded different from you do.
Do you ever have any advice? Do people come to you and say, Prime Minister, you shouldn't have stood like that, perhaps you shouldn't have worn that dress?
We don't have half as much of that now as right at the beginning of television, when they told you there were all sorts of things that you mustn't do. But really, if you've got to think about every single movement, you can't think about what you're going to say. And it's much more important to think about what you're going to say. So really, in a way, you have to forget yourself. Otherwise, you'll look stilted.
Now, you've been at number 10 for 10 years now, into the 11th, and you've seen your share of trouble and strife and success, triumph. What have been your worst moments?
Oh, the worst moment, undoubtedly, was when the Argentinians invaded the Falkland Islands. I will never forget it when the news came that their fleet was on the way, and we didn't know whether it was just an exercise or whether they were going to invade. They're 8,000 miles away, and the question was, could we ever get them back if they landed? Some advice said, no, we can't. We can't get them back if we take them. And you would think that it would have been impossible. 8,000 miles away, takes 3 weeks to get there, 3 weeks forewarning. You would have thought it was impossible. But we had to do it. Public opinion required it. Someone had invaded British territory, and the people were British. They had been British always, and the Argentinians hadn't lived there. And I will not forget calling together the chiefs of staff, and then the Admiral coming in and saying, within 48 hours, Prime Minister, I can dispatch a whole fleet because we're always ready for NATO. And within 48 hours, it was dispatched. And then we had 3 weeks when we negotiated. And then we had to land. And that was another terrible time. And during the whole of that Falklands campaign, it was awful. But just before we landed, I had another visit from Harold Macmillan. He just came in to see me, and he just said, I'm the senior of all the living prime ministers. I just want to offer you our full and total support, and maybe to give you a little advice, which was so very welcome. He said, set up a small emergency committee of cabinet, always with your chiefs of staff, not more than 5. And he said, keep the Treasury out. I thought that was very good advice, because really it wasn't a question of money. We had to recover those. We only had the bravery and professionalism of our people to rely on. So I set up that emergency committee, and we met every morning and every evening.
Is this a good rule for all government, keep the Treasury out?
No, no, no. It is only for emergencies, because you have, in fact, just like a household, just like a business, you have, in fact, to watch that you don't spend too much.
You seem never stuck for an answer. Are you always certain of your ground?
Goodness me, they'd howl you down if you were stuck for an answer. They learn a technique. Some ask longer questions and put all sorts of things in at the beginning which aren't right and hope that you won't pick them up. Others think, well, if I get in a quickie, she won't have time to think of the answer. So you have all sorts of techniques.
They don't seem to make any concession to the fact that you're a woman, do they?
No, why should they? I mean, I don't make any concession to the fact that they're men.
No. Whether you like the image or not, you have the image of being a dominating personality, which you have, a dominating personality, and even domineering in cabinet, that you don't like people who argue with you.
No, that's absolutely wrong. Look, there wouldn't be much point in being a prime minister unless you're a dominating personality, because you're dealing all the time with other heads of government and heads of state who are also dominating personalities. But yes, I do like arguing, absolutely flatly contrary to the image. We argue things out, and that is the way we come to a conclusion.
But in the end, they should agree with you.
In the end, we come to the right conclusion.
Margaret Thatcher, perhaps the most admired and hated political figure of our time. Well, we've had royalty, politics, and now, as they say, for something completely different, although I suppose you could describe Naomi Campbell as a queen of the catwalk with a reputation in the fashion world as fierce as the Iron Ladies.
Is it true that supermodels get paid that enormous amount of money, £10,000 a day?
I never discuss money ever, and I want to correct this, that I never ever said in any of my interviews that I would never get out of bed for $10,000.
No, I never said you did. We were just making it up as we went along.
It's a quote that's been following me for a while, but I just want to correct it because I think it's not right, and some people wouldn't make that in a lifetime, so they'd be kind of mad to hear that we'd make that or not get out of bed for that. So
yeah, but I mean, if it's market forces, isn't it? It's supply and demand. You're a supermodel now. You can demand enormous fees, can't you?
Well, I don't know if we can demand even that much, because it's like you could be here today and gone tomorrow. I mean, we can like say, yeah, we'll do it, book it, I'll be there.
Yeah, but how do the other models feel about the supermodels? Do they feel? I mean, presumably you can dictate the clothes you want to wear.
Actually, no. I wore some like stuff in Milan that I hated, but because they're paying you, you got to wear it, and you can't complain. It's all part of the job, and just smile and do your job and walk down the runway gracefully as you can, and you know, it's only for 2 minutes. It's not going to hurt you.
Do you still like the job?
Yeah, I do. I still like the job.
Do you think it's harder for black girls to make it to the top in modeling?
Yeah, it's getting better, I think, now, like all over America, London, Paris, Milan. And at first, I think it was a trend, and now I think in terms of like cosmetic contracts and stuff like that, they're trying to market ethnic women, which has taken a long time to happen, because usually it's you can have like 10 cosmetic contracts, but not one of them are for ethnic women.
That's
and
right.
Now they're considering that, and they're thinking that, well, yeah, Japanese or a Jamaican woman is going to want to buy this makeup, so let's start making it and marketing it.
So how did you get started? I mean, every...
It's like a fairy tale, but it's true. I was discovered hanging out in Covent Garden.
I don't believe a word of it.
Yeah, I just didn't want to go home, and I was hanging out with my school friends, and a lady called Beth came up to me and gave me a card and said, do you want to be a model? And I said, yeah. I took the card and took it home to my mother and thought about it for a few days, and then went to see her and started.
You know, every young lady listening to this at home, and most of them would want to be a model like you, enormously successful and making a lot of money, wouldn't believe that, because it's so very hard to be discovered. It's like a Hollywood story, isn't it? I must ask your mother. Your mother's in the audience. Can we get a picture of your mum up there? That's her there. Is this true? Yes. Yeah, okay, well, your mum says it's true. Did she give you any advice?
Not basically, just keep your feet on the ground and not get kind of too big-headed. And
Was she a showbiz mum?
no, she wasn't a pushy stage model, although I went to Talia Conte and Barbara Speaks. So I wanted to do it. So I kind of said, I want to go to dance, I want to go to act. And she
You'd still like to act, would you?
Yeah, I would, and I've been doing stuff in Cosby Show and stuff like that. Stuff that's right. I don't want to do a film or a television show that's not right and expect the model to be just like an airhead.
Yeah, that's right. Because models do have that image, don't they?
Yeah, but I think not anymore. I think it's changing, and people are beginning to realise that we're intelligent, and that we're business women, and we can take care of ourselves and our careers and manage ourselves well.
What's the life expectancy of a model? I mean, the professional life expectancy.
I started at 15, and my agent says to me I could model till I'm 30, but I don't want to. 15 years is a long time, although there are some that have. I'd like to do other things, expand and change and try out different stuff.
Is there a tacky side to it? Is there a side where you have to go to parties and be seen at...
No, you don't have to do... I mean, I go out mainly to benefits, and every time people see me out, well, you were partying last night. I'm like, no, I wasn't. It was for a cause. But no, you don't have to do what you don't want it to do. I mean, if you can help, and I think if you get to a certain point and your name's out there, and if you can help for a cause for AIDS or for children, okay, I think you should try and do so.
Do ordinary guys ever get to meet girls like you?
Yeah, I meet guys on the street every day.
Steady.
Just say hi, but...
Yeah. You only say hello, yeah, and move on. But I mean, you know, there's lots of fellas would like to take you out. I mean, do you only go out with Robert De Niro or Mike Tyson?
I don't go out with Robert De Niro. And Mike, yeah, I did go out with Mike Tyson, and we're just friends. And no, it just happens, it's the circle that you're in, and you just meet these people. But my first boyfriend was pretty normal, and I don't have a preference of what kind of man I go out with, except if he has a good heart.
Now, let's renew acquaintance with a child prodigy who came onto the Wogan show when she was just 13, treated us to an extraordinary music performance. The hugely talented Vanessa May.
But thank you for joining us.
Thanks a lot.
You're only 13.
Yeah.
And you've already mastered most of the great concertos. Yeah. When did you start playing the violin?
I started playing the violin when I was 5, and also the piano when I was 5. But when I was 8, I really decided that I was going to pursue the violin as a career. And since then, since October, I mean, since when I was 11, it's been my career.
But why did you decide to I mean, you were a very talented, you probably are still a very talented pianist. Why did you decide to pick up the fiddle?
Because the fiddle, it's such a sweet instrument, and it's so small, and it's so compact that you just slip it under your chin, and it's so affectionate.
It's an affectionate little thing.
Yeah. There are only 4 strings, but it can produce such a wide range of tones.
Yeah, but it's murder when you're starting. I mean,
Yeah.
because my father tried to teach me the violin, and really every cat in the neighbourhood was swarming around the door. But obviously not in your case, because you are a prodigy. I mean, do you like being called a prodigy? Would you rather be...
Well, I don't mind, really. I just want to love the violin forever and ever.
Were you encouraged by your parents?
Well, since I was 5, I've always been going to operas and ballets and concerts, so probably that helped me develop a strong love for music. But they all played the instrument, so it helped.
Yeah. Did you train in this country?
Yeah, well, I've lived here since I was 3, and my father's English, so I've been going to the Royal College of Music on a professional diploma's course. And when I was 8, I went to China to study the violin. I was supposed to go for a few years, but actually I just went for a few months.
Couldn't stick it, eh?
No, I completed the work in quite a short time, so I was lucky to get back.
But you're now at the Royal College of Music. I mean, you're there, but you're not with people of your own age. You say you're on a diploma course?
Professional diploma course, and most of the people there are about 18 or 21. But I enjoy being with people older than me and people my own age too.
Yeah, but there's not many, there won't be any people your own age.
Not at the moment.
No. Is it a kind of a burden, do you feel? Do you feel that an awful lot's expected of you?
No, I like to feel that a lot is expected of me, because I like to compete with myself and to make myself play better all the time and all the time. That's the greatness of playing the violin. It's an art. You can always change it the next day.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a tremendous successful year for you. You travelled all over the place. Well, can you remember what the best moment of the year for you has been?
Well, I enjoyed my 2 recordings very much, my first 2 recordings, especially the second one, where I had great fun. I composed and transcribed some of the works myself, some of the pop pieces. I transcribed like One Moment in Time, which Whitney Houston sung. I transcribed, so that was great fun. That was the best.
Yeah. You know what people always say about a young person like you of enormous talent, and indeed almost genius, mightn't be too strong a word, that you miss out on life a little bit, that you don't mix with people of your own age.
I don't feel so, because I love being with adults, and obviously in this career you have to be with conductors and orchestras which are very much older than you, but I do get to school and be with people my own age and chat about 13-year-old things.
Do you chat about pop music?
Yeah, I love pop music too. But I mainly love Elvis Presley, especially Whitney Houston.
Yeah. I mean, there's another young man who's no longer young, but he's young at heart, who was a bit of a prodigy when he was young. Nigel Kennedy, for instance. Now, do you follow Aston Villa? Or do you
You'll
have to pick a football team, you understand?
I like tennis. I could pick tennis maybe. But I don't know what he's doing nowadays, but I know that what I'm doing is going to pop music a bit, but I don't think it's that original, because in the olden days, Paganini, in his time, like one piece, La Campanella, that I recorded, it's meant to be a very popular, difficult tune, but at that time it was a poppy tune of its day, so I think I'm following the tradition.
But you know the way, I mean, Nigel is a genius as well, he plays brilliantly, but at least part of his popularity is due to the way he dresses and the way he talks. And really, in a sense, you're in show business apart from anything else. Are you likely to dress in a more modern way? I mean, you dress very modern.
Quite modern.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I like to dress to suit the occasion. When I'm on a big stage with an orchestra, I like to wear a big ball dress. But this is just a fun chat with you and me, so I can wear this.
Well, I think with that attitude, you'll go far, basically.
And of course she did, while doing a bit of skiing in her spare time. Now, Paul Gascoigne, who over the years has been a gift to both football and the tabloid press, at the time this was an entertaining encounter with the most famous and popular man in the country. Watching it again and knowing how things turned out for dear Gaza, I must say I'm left with a little sadness. You're in a position that most young men would say is a dream. But from my perspective, having experienced a tiny piece of the kind of attention you're getting, it could turn out to be a nightmare, you know.
Could be, but I'm trying my best not to let it turn out that way, you know. When I get as famous as you, then maybe I'll stop worrying, like.
You're more famous than anybody in the world. Now, it's 8 weeks since the World Cup, and we've seen what's happened outside the door here, and it's been raining as well. And a huge crowd of the kind of people that only New Kids on the Block or you know, Michael Jackson gets. They are weenie boppers.
Young weenie boppers.
I'm
only weenie bopper myself.
I know you are. Well, that's the thing. You have an appeal, but the thing is, your appeal is across the board. I mean, how did they smuggle you in here tonight?
Like I said before, I hide in the boot of the car, you see. Get a little bit claustrophobic, but I'm all right.
Yeah.
Come in the boot and get them away.
Everybody is saying, I mean, the same newspapers that are building you to the skies and hyping you up are also trying to give you advice and say things. Will this young man be able to handle all that attention?
Yeah, they build me right up. It's unbelievable, and I can't believe what's happening. Like I say, at the end of my road, that outside my house with cameras and everything. It's frightening, really, because all I want to do is just live my own life.
Is there a bit of you that enjoys it? There must be. There's a bit of all of us that wants attention.
When I score a hat-trick on a Saturday, I love the attention then. But I mean, this other bit, the scandal and all that, I hate it. I can't stand it, you know. So what I've done really is lately is I read the papers and I think, oh, no, someone's wrote this and someone's wrote this and I had a good game, I had a bad game, he's better than me. You know, he's better than me. You know. But I just don't let it affect us, you know, to be fair. And what I've started doing now, and it's worked, is I don't read the papers.
No. Well, you know, Sir John Gielgud used to say he never read any critiques of his acting. He never read any.
Yeah.
You know, so that means that you're not going to be affected one way or the other. But it's very hard to run away from something like this. And as I say, as somebody in the media, you have all my sympathy. I'm delighted that you've had such enormous success, and long may you continue.
Cheers.
But it's very hard to handle it, you know, particularly when you're only 23.
23, I know. Yeah, it is hard to handle it. And like I said before, I can't believe it. From a lad who's just walked out of the social club, Dunson Excelsior, I'll just give it a little plug. Is that watching? Hi everyone, how are you?
They're over there. They're over there, give them
Hi,
away.
everyone.
Yeah. Why not, for goodness sake? That's the thing. While you're enjoying it and while it's happening, do try and enjoy it. Try and fling
it's like
yourself
everything else, Terry, isn't it? I'll be fair. I mean, when things go well, you love it. And when things get bad, you get upset about it. Maybe if you've seen before, I cried, don't I?
Yeah, but that's all right. In a funny way, as I said in the introduction, and as Julie well said in the Times this morning, that's the secret of how you've gone to the heart of most people in this country, is that you were able to combine the qualities of courage and patriotism, and at the same time, not to be afraid to cry.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it was just something that hit us, you know. I was leaving the World Cup, we weren't in the finals, and I was leaving some fantastic supporters who were there. It was fantastic. And after the game, I got back in the dressing room, and everyone was given like towels to dry themselves and that, and I was given a couple of Pampers. Couple of tapers, couple of Pampers, and a dummy. Oh, cheers, lads. Brilliant.
But the only thing for you to do, because it's not going to go away, the thing is that what I think you have to get ready for is what they call the tall poppy syndrome. What the Australians call the tall poppy syndrome.
What's that?
We have a tradition in this country, certainly among the press, that as soon as you become enormously successful, there reaches a point when they decide we're going to knock him off the parapet now.
Oh yeah, they're waiting for. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm working so hard to behave myself and be like, you know, I mean, be something I'm not. And the trouble is, I'm just one of the lads, really. Be fair.
Well, you don't want to behave
enjoy myself. No, of course I don't want to behave myself. No, obviously I just want to be one of the lads. I want to stay one of the lads, and they're trying to make me not to be one of the lads, and I am. And it's great when I go back home and I see me mates, and we have a few drinks. Like you, Terry, we get drunk, don't we?
Yeah, all the time. Continuously. And I wouldn't mind, only you're supposed to be fit. Tell me this, there was, you know, this is the thing, you didn't score on Saturday, it was 0-all the game.
Yeah, I didn't score.
And you were supposed to be tired. Somebody said you were tired. That all the attention had got to you and it was wearing you down already.
Yeah, obviously I haven't been sleeping well, Terry. I haven't been sleeping that well at all. Don't know why. I just haven't been sleeping well. So, lack of sleep, done a lot of travelling, and like I said, stupid things like this, coming on a show like this,
Yeah,
you know
I
what I
know.
mean? It's just unbelievable.
I don't know how you could possibly... You are going to get a lot of attention. I mean, nearly everything's going to want to carry your name now, isn't it?
Exactly. I mean, the good thing about coming on the show, not being fab, just give it a bit of stick, but the good thing is everyone can see what's actually spoke the truth.
You'll even be linked with people that you haven't probably ever met in your life.
Yeah.
Because there are going to be people who are going to say, oh, I knew Paul Gascoigne, oh, I went to bed with Paul Gascoigne, and they'll get 50,000 quid for saying that.
Yeah.
You'll have to accept that that's going to happen.
That's right. I mean, I wouldn't mind them if they give me a half of it, you know, it'd be great. Let them do what they want, Terry. Really fair.
Yeah, and of course, the other thing you're going to get flung at you is all the money you make. And, I mean, have you got good advisors? Have you got people who are going to take care of you? You know the way you're always being compared? George Best, they say. Look at...
Yeah, that's right. I mean, no, I haven't got an agent. I don't want an agent, you know. I have an accountant and a lawyer.
Well, I don't know what advice you've got, but if I were you, I'd make as much money as you possibly can.
As much as you?
No, nobody makes
Well, if I get as half as much as what you've got, Terry, I mean, I'll be sound.
But you see, I'm a very old man. It's all right. I was penniless when I was your age. And the thing is, if you just make as much money as you can, and then you'll be able to do whatever you like after that.
Yeah.
And just
exactly.
keep your head down for a few years.
Exactly.
And so that they can't do an axe job on you.
Exactly.
You're going to make a record.
Yeah. It's Gaza Rap, but it's also...
Gaza Rap.
Yeah, but no.
Are you a good singer? Can you sing?
No, I'm not a very good singer. We might be called Geordie Boys, like. It's called Geordie Boys, so you wouldn't probably understand it. That's a good thing about it. So, in fact, I've got the lyrics upstairs, like. It'll be okay, hopefully. Yeah. You've got a few buttons to make your voice sound great, won't it?
Yeah. It'll be fantastic. We look forward to you having a wonderful season.
Cheers.
And I just hope that I just hope that tabloids will be kind.
Sure they are.
And I hope you'll be able to have a happy and enjoyable life and enjoy your fame and everything that goes with it.
No problem. I want to enjoy my life myself as well.
I'm sure you will. I hope you will.
Cheers, Terry.
Paul Gascoigne. Before I fold my tent and silently steal away, is another little treat from the archive to leave you with. When the Wogan show went to 3 live shows a week, some BBC bright spark decided to ask the nation's youth what they thought of our hero.
I think Teddy Wogan's the boringest person on the television. He should never be on the television because he doesn't let anybody talk and he always got to butt in.
I think it's very good and he's got a very good personality. I really enjoy it.
I don't mind some of the stars on it, but I don't like Teddy Wogan himself. It's the one who hasn't cracked the camera yet.
I think it's good and I like the people on it.
When they put it serious on 3 times a week, I don't think they should put it on once a week either.
Well, the range of guests that it has on is very good because there's one for everybody, really. Out of all the guests it has on, one of them you've got to like, really.
My mum don't watch it very often.
Why?
She's always washing up.
Out of the mouths of babes. Some of them certainly didn't pull any punches. I'm supposed to have no feelings, of course. I'll be heading off now in a marked manner, so until next time, I'll bid you farewell.